In a small village surrounded by lush forests, there was a young man named Takashi. He was known for his ambition and drive, always striving to be the best at everything he did. From a young age, he had been told that in order to succeed, he needed to push himself harder than anyone else. Day after day, he worked tirelessly, but despite his best efforts, he never felt like he was enough. The pressure he placed on himself grew heavier with each passing day, and soon it began to consume him. One evening, as he sat under the stars, exhausted and disillusioned, Takashi began to question everything he had been taught. Was this endless striving truly the path to happiness, or was he chasing something that didn't exist? As Takashi sat in the stillness of the night, a soft voice broke his thoughts. An old man, dressed in simple robes, approached him. Takashi hadn't noticed him at first, but now he stood there, his presence calm and unhurried. The old man smiled gently, as if he had been waiting for Takashi all along. "You seem troubled, young one," he said. "What weighs on your heart?" Takashi hesitated, unsure of how to explain his feelings. Finally, he spoke. "I've worked so hard all my life, always striving for perfection, but I still feel like I'm not enough. No matter how much I give, it's never enough." The old man nodded thoughtfully. "The more you expect from yourself, the heavier the burden becomes. You are chasing a shadow, one that will always elude you." The old man sat beside Takashi, his presence calm and steady. "The key to peace is not striving endlessly for something outside yourself," he said softly. "You've been chasing an ideal, but you can never capture it by force. True peace comes when you stop pushing and allow life to unfold naturally." Takashi listened closely, the weight of the words sinking deep into his heart. He had always believed that happiness and success were rewards for relentless effort. But the old man's words were a gentle reminder that peace was found in letting go, not in forcing things to happen. The old man continued, "You must learn to be at peace with where you are, before you can move forward." Takashi felt a deep shift inside him. For the first time, he realized that true strength came not from relentless pursuit, but from embracing the present moment. If you're ready to let go of the pressure and embrace true peace, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more wisdom. The old man stood up and walked to the edge of the river. "The river flows effortlessly," he said, "and so should your mind. But just like this river, your thoughts can become turbulent if you try to control them. Let me show you something." He picked up a small stone from the ground and handed it to Takashi. "Hold this stone in your hand. Now, close your eyes and concentrate on the weight of the stone. Feel its weight in your palm, but don't try to control it. Simply allow the sensation of the stone to exist without forcing it." Takashi did as instructed, and for the first time in a long while, he felt his mind quieting. The constant pressure to control every thought began to fade. "The stone is still there," the old man said, "but it is not burdening you. Your thoughts can be the same if you allow them to simply be." Takashi stood by the river, holding the stone in his hand. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. As he focused on the weight of the stone, he noticed something remarkable. The more he relaxed, the less effort was required to hold it. It wasn't about force or strength, but about being at peace with the present moment. The stone, once heavy and burdensome, felt lighter as he let go of his need to control it. It was then that Takashi understood. This was the same way he had been approaching his life. His constant need to control his thoughts, his actions, and his future had only created more stress and frustration. True peace, he realized, came not from forcing things into place, but from allowing them to unfold naturally. The stone had taught him that sometimes the best way to move forward was to stop trying so hard. The old man, noticing Takashi's realization, smiled with quiet approval. "You see now, don't you?" he asked. "You were trying so hard to move the stone, but in the end, it moved on its own when you allowed it to. The same is true for your mind. The more you force it, the more resistance you create. But when you let go, your mind becomes free to flow naturally, just like the river." Takashi nodded slowly, understanding that the battle he had been fighting was not with the world around him, but with himself. For years, he had been pushing against his own thoughts, trying to control every moment. But now, he realized that true power came from surrendering to the flow of life, not from trying to control every detail. The stone had shown him that the secret to peace was acceptance, not control. As the sun began to set, Takashi felt a deep shift within himself. The once overwhelming pressure to achieve and control had dissolved, leaving a profound sense of peace. The old man stood beside him, gazing at the river. "True strength comes from within," the monk said softly. "It's not in how much you achieve, but in how much you can let go. You have spent so much time fighting against your own mind, but now you know that peace is found in acceptance, not in resistance." Takashi stood quietly, absorbing the wisdom. The struggle he had been engaged in for so long now seemed pointless. His mind, which had once been filled with frustration and doubt, was now clear and still. He smiled, realizing that the peace he sought was already inside him, waiting to be embraced. He turned to the old man and bowed deeply, grateful for the lesson that would stay with him forever. Takashi stood by the river, reflecting on the journey he had just experienced. The sky above was painted with shades of orange and purple as the sun set, symbolizing the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. He had spent so much time trying to perfect himself, only to realize that peace was never found in perfection. It was found in acceptance and surrender. He glanced over at the old man, who had been his guide throughout this process, and realized that the true lesson was not just about controlling the mind, but about embracing its natural flow. "Thank you," Takashi said, his voice full of gratitude. The old man smiled and nodded. "You've always had the answer within you. Now, you must choose to listen." Takashi nodded, feeling a deep sense of peace settle in his heart. But one question remained, unanswered and lingering in the back of his mind. Why do we always think that more is better? But now that you've finally tasted inner peace, will you dare to let go of who you think you should be and become who you truly are?